So now starting off another review, something a little more mellow or a little more, I don't know, straight to life or whatever, is Usagi Drop. This is a series that I pretty much randomly fell into one day. I just saw some of the pictures and I was like, this looks good enough. And then later, I found one of the books. So I was like, whoa, it's actually translated in English. So I bought it and I liked it and I thought, well, hell, why not give the show a try? So yeah, they have books, and they even have a live action one. So yeah, you can watch that too. But whatever. So the series starts, or well, episode one rundown. The series starts with pretty much this surreal dream thing or something. Some guy walking with a younger girl hand in hand, all happily down some mysterious street and trees. And then our main guy just wakes up because it turns out it was just a dream. So he's wondering, was that grandpa with my mom when my mom was little, just walking her down the street or something? But whatever. So he pretty much wakes up, and we realize, or we're told that I guess his grandpa died recently. So now he's going back to visit, but he finds the irony, oh, I haven't been here in a while, and now that I come back, well, my grandpa's dead. So yeah. So he walks in and he sees this mysterious random girl, and then they meet, or their eyes meet or whatever, and yeah, they're both like, whoa, who the hell are you? Oh, who the hell is he? And she has actually the normal reaction, or the good reaction, which every little girl should know. If some random dude just shows up and stares at you, probably want to get the fuck away. That's just a little sketchy. She seems a little bright though, so she knew. She backed the hell out. So later, we're shown Daikichi's talking with his mom in the kitchen or whatever, and he's like, "Man, it sucks. Grandpa died or whatever. He lived a good life, I guess. He's 79 or whatever when he died." And he's like, "Who's the girl? Is Reina Reina grew up or something? One of his nieces, I guess, or some shit?" And the mom's like, "That's not Reina. No, that's not your cousin's kid. That's grandpa's illegitimate child." And Daikichi pretty much freaks the fuck out. But that's a normal response. And he's like, damn, Gramps must have been a player, fucking 79 and still knocking women up and shit. Damn. But of course, his mom's like, what the fuck, seriously? You can't be talking like that. Seriously, that's messed up. Someone died. So yeah, so I guess Gramps has passed away, and now they're having a funeral or a wake or something at his house. So the girls put praying or whatever, and then Daikichi comes to give his respect, and he's like, "Man, you lived happy, Gramps. All good." And he finds that the little girl was kind of watching him, and he's like, "Oh shit, yeah." But eventually we find the family. They're all discussing, I guess, his life, the old man's life or something. And yeah, and then we find this other redhead chick who I guess is Daikichi's sister. And then we're introduced to this mysterious Reina girl who we thought was the little blonde girl, but no. And then we're introduced to her mother, who is Daikichi's cousin, Haruka. And yeah, so everyone's just discussing stuff. They're like, "Oh shit, man, this is crazy. Freaking what's-a-jig's dead." But yeah, so they deal with it. They have some nighttime celebration. We find out that our main girl, Rin here, the blonde girl, she's pretty good at Cat's Cradle. So the Reina girl is like, "Oh my god, that's so cool. Let me borrow it for a sec." And pretty much tries to show off, "Oh, look, I did it. I'm so freaking skilled." But that fails on her when they're like, "Oh, hey, now do the box move or some other one." And she can't because she's a liar, so she can't do it. So anyway, Daikichi noticed though, so he's like, I don't know, he's having some moment kind of figuring out who this kid is, why does she look and act differently, and she seems a little outcast and stuff. So he's like, whatever. So later that night, I guess everyone's taking turns like watching the incense burn and stuff. And Daikichi's like, "Yo guys, like uncle, I got this." So it's his turn and he finds the little Rin girl hanging out there and she's trying to be a champ like, "Look, I don't need sleep. Like, leave me alone, old man. I can handle this. I'm good." But she knocks out eventually either way and yeah, she pretty much goes to sleep, gets some rest, all that jazz. Then the next day, the family's all sad because, well, they're giving their final goodbyes. They're giving flowers and all that stuff to pretty much like you offer a lotus blossom or some sort of flower thing to the departed and send them on their way. And of course, the little Reina girl's just like, fuck, I want to give them all the flowers, but they're like, no, no, that's crazy, that's rude or something. But whatever, because like, fuck, the guy died. Why not just give him all of them? Shit. Um, and then Daikichi's like, what about Rin? And he goes there and he's like, come on, like, you gotta say goodbye. And everyone's kind of like shocked, like, oh shit, he's actually talking to the illegit child. Like, whoa, she was in the room? Like, why do we even recognize her existence? But whatever, she's cool enough and she shows up. So he brings her to him and he's like, here, give him one of the flowers. Like, you gotta say goodbye. Like, he's dead. But she's like, nah, no. And it's like, oh, well, that's kind of sad. Like, what? So she books it and she goes to the yard. People freak out and shit. They're like, whoa, what the hell? And she picks these flowers. And I guess they're called like bell flowers or ringos or something. Or some, I don't know. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. But it turns out they're Gramps' favorite flower and he loved them. And she wanted to give him those instead because, well, she knew he liked them. So then she pretty much tells him like, he's not gonna wake up, is he? And Daikichi is like, yeah, he's not gonna wake up. I'm sorry. So yeah, a little bummer scene. Like, of course, it's sad when someone dies or someone you're close to dies, especially if you're a little kid. But whatever. So she's sad. He's like, wow, man, you really are like my grandpa's kid or whatever. So my aunt or whatever. But whatever. Um, so later that day, they're discussing stuff like they're discussing what they're gonna do with Rin, and Daikichi's like just hearing them out. He's like, man, all these fucking old people trying to figure this thing out. Like, what are we gonna do? Then suddenly, sheep or lamb, I'm not really sure, but whatever. And it turns out that little Reina kid, well, she's kind of annoying. She's a brat and just starts beating the crap out of him with this lamb thing until he's like, you know what? Here, what better way to get rid of kids than candy? So he offers her candy, and she's amazed. She's like, oh my god, you must own a store of candy. This is incredible. But whatever. So eventually they're talking about what they're going to do with her, and Daikichi's like, hey mom, like, all your kids are grown up. Like, I live in my own house. Or we're all good. Why don't you take care of her for a bit? And they're like, no, what the fuck? Really? Are you crazy? No, I don't have time for that. And he's figuring, like, he's pretty much figured, like, come on, we're here to talk about what we're going to do with this little girl's life. Like, what the hell, guys? And then his sister calls him out, like, you weren't going to do shit anyway, bitch. Like, why even talk? So that's kind of fucked. But then I guess the eldest or some guy, he's like, why don't we try to put her in some shelter or home or facility as quick as possible? And Daikichi will have none of this. He's like, no, you know what? Fuck that man mode. Like, I gotta do what we gotta do. Because seriously, like, this is family. Someone has to fucking do something right. So he gets up. Everyone's freaking out. He's like, whoa, what the fuck? He's like, Ren! And he's like, dude, Ren, come over. Like, live with me. Like, I'll take care of you. And his family, of course, is like, whoa, wait, bro, what? And they're like, you can't do this. But she's like, you know what? It's all up to Rin. And Rin is like, you know what? Fuck yeah, I know what I gotta do. I gotta fucking survive. So she runs to him, and it's all good. And then the next day, like, already at his house, already waking up in this comfortable ass bed futon thing, and she's waking up. She's like, yo, bro. And he looks like he's already dead, but whatever. I guess that's how he sleeps. So she's like, hey, look, I'm hungry. Feed me. And he's like, okay, But first, don't call me an old man, because, like, I'm not that old. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. And later on, I guess, well, then there's this little after skit. It's one of the animes that continues even after the episode of the show or whatever. Um, it's pretty much a little skit of them eating breakfast, and she's like, more. Like, I want more food. I want more food, son. And he's all like, more? I just have rice. And she's like, did I ask what the fuck we had? Come on, I want more. That's it. So he's like, all right, well, here's some rice. What are you gonna do? And she's like, I'm gonna make rice balls, son. And he's like, I don't have anything put on them. He's like, fucking salt. Like, what the hell do you think? And he's like, I don't get it. Like, how are you just gonna eat them with salt? And she's just like, look, watch and learn, watch and learn. And she just goes fucking master chef on this shit. He's like, whoa, 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 it's hot still. And she's like, look, back the fuck up. I got this. Starts making it, starts like mastering this beast. And then she's like, you know what? Bask in its glory, bask in its scent, bask in how amazing it is. So, yeah. So, anyway, after that, pretty much he enjoys it. They hang out and they're like, oh, hey, how great. And yeah, so she feels happy that she helped him out. Anyway, that pretty much sums up the episode. And yeah, I'm pretty much doing Usagi Drop since I know I could finish it. It's only like 11 episodes, so it'll be done soon. Or eventually, whenever I get done with it. So yeah, again, if you like the video, like it. If you want more, subscribe. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Later.